How's it going, everybody? Desir here. We are finishing up our Dark Dimension adventure. We're currently on Node 12, which is the first Mythic section. Now this section actually isn't too terrible. It's more the following section that used to be the issue until they did make the change to Mephisto. It does make it more tolerable, but it's still not the easiest section out of all of the Dark Dimension nodes. Now the nice thing about the Mythic section is that they only require 4 characters, so you don't need to come in with all 5 of them. That does save you quite a bit of gear because it definitely is doable with just 4 characters. Let's go ahead and check out the team that I'll be using today. Now as far as the characters I'll be using, I'm obviously bringing Apocalypse and Super Skrull. Kestrel's also a given, and I did opt to go for Doom. The nice thing about Doom is that he takes Tech and Mystic, so it's a lot easier to manage the gear to be able to get here, where Dorm is very expensive and requires all 5 pieces, and Ultimates at the time really wasn't worth it. After the rework, I don't know if I would still take them because you still need to make sure that you have enough Mystic gear for Mephisto. But let's go ahead and start the attack. Now the opening of this wave can be a little bit tricky. This also did include quite a bit of RNG, as I do want Doom to get pushed right off the bat. For Super Skrull, I do opt to use the basic into the Red Guardian. That will allow me to actually use the special either on Apocalypse or Vol to do a nice turn meter rewind to that side of the field. And here Doom does end up getting pushed for me. That's going to allow it to where the Super Skrull is able to take the ride. Now when it does get to Super Skrull's turn, I do opt to use the ultimate off the bat, and then I'm going to go all in on the Apocalypse. I want to try to get him low enough so that way when my Apocalypse goes, I'm able to use the Falcon Punch on him and get him off the table right away. So there I do end up losing the Doom. I'm actually not too worried about it. The main goal of the Doom was to get somebody on the ride right off the bat so I can get through this wave. As far as this hit goes, my main goal is either to clear the wave or get in a good position to where when I come back in, I can clear the wave and have my momentum going into the wave 2, which can be very tricky. Now here Apocalypse is able to use the ultimate. I used the Falcon Punch on the Apocalypse and I did get him killed off. At this point in the matchup, I was really trying to figure out what the best course of action was. I want to get rid of the Dark Phoenix because she does special every single turn. However, I want to try to get the Vol taken care of because I don't want it to get to where Vol is able to use their ultimate and start bringing characters back to life. Because of the positioning of Vol as well, I am able to do some pretty good control on there by using Super Skrull's special. For Apocalypse's turn, I do have a special available. I end up using that on the Black Cat, and I am able to get the stun on her. And also because of the health pool that the Dark Dimension characters have, that was basically able to get both my characters back up to full health. I was able to take out the Archangel, and now I'm opting to use the special again for Super Skrull on Vol, so I can get that nice turn meter rewind. Apocalypse does end up doing the basic into Vol that does end up getting them killed. Right now the next character I want to take out is going to be the Quicksilver. Super Skrull does do the basic into him, I get the striker hit, and I almost get him killed off right there. The Quicksilver does end up taking out my Apocalypse, but I am going to end up keeping this hit. This is a pretty good position to where I'm able to come in on this following hit, take everybody out, and hopefully have that momentum going into that wave 2. As far as my first hit went, it went fairly well. I did end up doing 220 million points of damage, which is about 1/5 of the node right now. The following wave is going to be very difficult because of the drop, so let's go ahead, start our second attack. The Dark Phoenix will be taking back-to-back turns right here. I'm not positive why, but that did end up happening. Super Scroll is next. I have all of his abilities ready, but I'm going to use the basic into the Black Cat. I wanted to try to get all of those death proofs off of her, and I was able to do that. Kestra's up next. I do end up using the special on the Black Cat, so I do have a defense down on the field. For Apocalypse, I end up doing the basic. I don't want to use his special or his ultimate yet, because I'm going to need that on the next wave. For Super Scroll, I don't mind using the special, which I do end up doing on the Morgan, but I'm definitely going to end up saving the ultimate. Right now, I am going to aim for that defense down, which the Doombot does, and I end up killing the Morgan. I'm able to take the Morgan out, and now I have my full attention onto the Dark Phoenix. So this is the tricky wave. There's 2 Dooms on here, there's a Morgan, 2 Ghost Rider Robbies, and the Vol. Now the Vol we need to be careful of because they will end up using the ultimate and they will basically bring everybody back to life. So right now I'm going to aim for that Dark Phoenix because again they're going to be doing that ultimate every turn and I want to try to take out the Morgan. So Apocalypse will be using the ultimate, I use the Falcon Punch on the Morgan and she barely ends up surviving that. For Super Scroll's turn, I do end up using the special into the Evolve, so I got the ability block on them and that nice turn meter rewind. Super Scroll's going to follow that up by doing the basic into the Evolve, and I do get a nice rebound chain going. Kestrel is able to use the ultimate and I do get rid of the Morgan. And now Super Scroll's going to use the basic into the Dr. Doom. I'm going to aim on the right side because that one is already low on health. And here you do see the Ghost Rider Robbies popping off by doing back-to-back ultimates. Right now it's not looking great, but we're going to keep persevering. Super Scroll's going to use the special into the Ghost Rider Robbie. Now that Apocalypse is up, I am going to end up using that special into the injured Ghost Rider Robbie. That was able to get rid of the Scarlet Witch. Kestrel does the special into that Ghost Rider Robbie, and we do got a kill on the Doom. Apocalypse is going to use the basic into the Vol. That does end up killing Vol and a Ghost Rider Robbie. Now we're feeling much better. Super Scroll is going to use the basic into the Ghost Rider Robbie, and that does chain into the Dr. Doom. And Doom is going to end up using that ultimate, so Ghost Rider Robbie will be going for the ride here. So there the Robbie does end up taking out our Apocalypse, but we're going to see what we can get rid of. So the Super Scroll is going to try to conserve those abilities for the following hit. We're just going to take this as a loss. He has his ultimate ready. We do have his special ready, but I don't mind using that special because of the short cooldown that it does end up having. So here you do see the Super Scrolls fighting back fairly well. I do have the Dr. Doom very close to death, and the Ghost Rider Robbie is fairly injured as well. There I was able to get rid of the Dr. Doom, and now we just have the Robbie left on this wave. So he was able to finish this wave off, so now we're on the following wave where there's an Apocalypse and a Super Scroll. This is a very difficult wave, so we're going to wipe here and come back in and see what we can do. For attack number 2, we did end up doing 190 million points of damage, so we are currently about halfway through based on the health chart that you see above. Now we are in a pretty bad position because the Apocalypse and Super Scroll hasn't burned any abilities yet, so let's go ahead and start attack number 3. So the main issue here is that Apocalypse hasn't used the Falcon Punch yet, and the Super Scroll hasn't burned his ultimate yet either. So our Super Scroll is going to use the ultimate right off the bat. The Apocalypse counterattack was able to put the stun on the Super Scroll. This did take me quite a bit of RNG of resets to get that to land perfectly for me. The Super Scroll ends up doing the basic into him. Now that it's Apocalypse's turn, I use the special on the enemy Apocalypse. I don't want him to do the Falcon Punch on us. So right there, the Phoenix did end up pulling all the negative effects in, including that stun. So unfortunately, that Super Scroll is currently still in stealth. We were able to use Super Scroll's basic and get off of the Phoenix. The Apocalypse did end up getting the stealth pulled off of him, so we do have a target there at least. Super Scroll does end up doing that special into the enemy Vol, and we're just going to try to aim into those defense downs at this time. Now that it's Apocalypse's turn, we use the ultimate, and that striker attack does end up hitting Vol. We're going to use the Falcon Punch on the enemy Apocalypse, and we did get that kill, so that's one big target out of the way, but we still had that Super Scroll, and he does end up doing the ultimate on us, and ends up killing our Apocalypse. That's perfectly fine, we got one big target out of the way, so on the following hit, we'll be able to take out that Super Scroll. For attack number 3, we ended up doing 104 million points of damage. The important thing though was that we were able to kill that Apocalypse. We have about 1/3 left, and the Super Scroll did burn its ultimate. So let's go ahead and start attack number 4 now. For attack number 4, this does end up being a burn attack for us. The main reason is because Vol is basically going to ult on turn 1. So no matter who I kill, they are going to bring them back to life and give a full heal. So we're just going to do our basics and wipe here. For attack 4, we really didn't do a lot of damage. We only did 3.7 million damage, however we were able to burn that Vol. Sometimes you have to take those small victories like that. Our Super Scroll is up first. We do opt to use the basic though. We're not going to use the ultimate yet. So we were able to flip the taunt off of the Red Guardian. So now we are really able to push into this. Apocalypse's turn is up next. We do end up doing the special into the Iron Man. Now that Super Scroll is up, we do end up targeting the enemy Super Scroll and use the ultimate. And as you see, those Cosmos are going to be very annoying on this node with all the heals and buff clears. That's why we end up using that Super Scroll ultimate, so we can actually get the trauma on the enemy Super Scroll. So now our main goal is let's take out this Super Scroll. We're going to go all in on him with Kestrel's basic and Dr. Doom targeting him as well. For Super Scroll's turn, we do end up using the special into the Iron Man, so we get a nice turn meter rewind with everybody there. Now that it's Apocalypse turn, we use the ultimate targeted on the Super Scroll. And because that disrupt on him, he can't go stealth. We're going to use the Falcon Punch and the Super Scroll is killed off. At this point, I am going towards the Robbie because I don't want him to end up doing the ultimate on me or those specials. And because of the traumas on the field, we don't have to worry about too much with the Cosmos, but we do need to be mindful of them. So Super Scroll does end up doing the basic into one of the Cosmos. Apocalypse targets Vol and does the basic, and we were able to kill Iron Man off. Vol was able to basically wipe us here, which I'm perfectly fine with. We're keeping this. For attack number 5, we did 145 million points of damage. We're making pretty good progress right now. We do have that Super Scroll killed off, so we should be able to start making some good progress at this point now. Our Super Scroll will be going first. We do end up using the basic again on that Red Guardian. We need to get off that taunt. Apocalypse ends up using the basic, and we are able to hit everybody right there. Super Scroll ends up using that special into the Dark Phoenix, so we get a nice turn meter rewind. And now Doom is able to use the ultimate that heals Kestrel up all the way, and we're able to start hitting some characters with defense down. So we do go for the Archangel first. Now we go for the Vol. And we opt to use the basic. We're not going to blow up the Doom bots. We want them out there so we can hit those defense down characters. Apocalypse ends up using the basic as well into that Archangel. I'm basically saving those special and the ultimate for the following wave that's going to be coming down. Apocalypse does the basic into the Vol. We're able to kill off the Archangel. And now the following wave came down. We do end up using that ultimate, so we are off of the Bishop. And we're going to use the Falcon Punch into the Morgan Le Fay right here. Super Scroll's up, we use the ultimate into that Red Guardian. And now those Doom bots are just going to use those basics into that Red Guardian, and we do get those Kestrel pings going. Super Scroll does end up using the basic into that Red Guardian now, and that does chain across. We do get that Morgan killed off. That's a pretty big deal. Super Scroll ends up using that special into the Quicksilver. That is a nice turn meter rewind to those characters as well. Kestrel does the ultimate into that Quicksilver. I was hoping I'd try to get him low enough, and hopefully we can try to kill him off here. Now the Quicksilver does end up killing our Apocalypse, and he just used the ultimate on us. I needed to make sure to kill the Vol, so the Super Scroll does end up doing the basic into that Vol as well. And right here, the Super Scroll was able to use the basic, and the Vol did get killed off. We are going to wipe here, and this is going to be a very easy cleanup for us now. For that 6 hit, we did 138 million points of damage. There are only 4 characters left, so this is going to be a very easy cleanup, and hopefully we can get our abilities prepped for that following node. So there are two pre-taunts right now. There's the Red Guardian and the Bishop. Super Scroll's gonna end up using that special into the Red Guardian, so that way we can try to rewind that Ghost Rider Robbie. The Quicksilver did end up pushing the Dooms, that did give him that one extra ability energy, which I was very happy about. We were able to get rid of that Red Guardian, and the Bishop ended up hitting the Apocalypse, so the Apocalypse did put the stun on the Bishop. The Super Scroll does end up doing the basic into that Quicksilver, and that does chain across and kills the Ghost Rider Robbie. Now we're going to go all in on the Quicksilver, just with our basics though. Like I said, we need to get our abilities prepped for that last node. The Super Scroll was able to get rid of the Quicksilver, and Apocalypse got rid of Bishop. So Node 12 is now complete. So this did take me 7 attacks. That last hit did 28, almost 29 million points of damage. We have 1 node left to go. I'm feeling really good about this. Let's go ahead and check out the ranking now. So after clearing node 12, I am currently ranked 734 as far as the Dark Dimension 7 run. I'm feeling very good about this. I was a little over ranked 900 for the Dark Dimension 6, so I did jump up about 200 ranks right now. I was hoping to maybe get close to the 700 mark, so I do start burning more cores at this point. I believe once I got into the Mythic section, because of how close I was feeling eager at a lot of power cores, so I was burning through them. Now if you are enjoying this Dark Dimension 7 run, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, and until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.